There are all kinds of amazing squash varieties that farmers grow right here in Minnesota, from bright orange pumpkins to striped delicatas, fast-growing summer zucchini to sweet butternut squash. Squash comes in all shapes, colors, and flavors. Every year, you can see their full spectrum on display at grocery stores, local farmers markets, and maybe even your school lunch. Because Minnesota has a short growing season, fresh local produce can be hard to find in the winter months. But thick-skinned winter squashes like acorn, Hubbard, and kabocha store really well, which means local food can stay on the menu almost all year long. Squash also plays an essential role in one of the most well-known Indigenous farming practices, the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters are a traditional planting method which includes squash, corn, and beans. These crops are planted together not just for better harvests, but to reflect deeper relationships between people, food, and the land. Dream of Wild Health is a nonprofit that promotes native health and well-being through Indigenous foods, medicines, and lifeways. Let's travel to their farm in Hugo, Minnesota to learn more about Minnesota's Indigenous food traditions, including the Three Sisters.
The corn, it grows really tall, and so depending on what kind of bean variety you have, the bean does need somewhere to pull up. Also, it's like reciprocal too, because the corn does provide the stalk for the bean to vine up, but also the bean works below the ground too, and it provides nitrogen for the corn to grow. And the squash, it provides shade. Like the leaves are so huge, they're bigger than my hand, so it provides shade in the summertime for the corn and the squash, and it keeps the moisture in the soil. Back in the day when a lot of our ancestors were still living off the land, they didn't really have access to refrigerators or freezers to preserve squash. So in a sense, when they would grow out the winter squash in the summer months, they would harvest it in the fall and then store it away wherever wherever they had access to. And then they would live off of that until springtime.
Native farmers, community gardens, and organizations like Dream of Wild Health are at the forefront of reviving Three Sisters gardens and honoring the cultural and nutritional significance of squash. These efforts are not only restoring traditional agricultural practices, but also advancing food sovereignty and cultural restoration.
We know from our traditional teachings that the way to grow and the way to save space and the way to live in relationship with the land and the plants is to grow things like Three Sisters, right? Because you take up less space. And in the same time that you're growing and receiving from the land, you're also putting nutrients back into the land as well. So it's a reciprocal relationship that we have.
Squash has deep cultural roots. It's versatile and delicious. It's no wonder squash has been a part of our meals and traditions for thousands of years. Think roasted butternut squash, jack-o'-lanterns on Halloween, or even a pumpkin spice latte. Squash shows up in many forms, traditional and new. Let's travel to Roosevelt High School in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to learn how students like you are cooking up tasty meals featuring all Three Sisters.
Right now we are in our Indigenous week, so we are only using ingredients that we can source from Minnesota and very close surrounding areas. So using corn, squash, beans, anything that would grow here naturally, and just keeping everything close and an emphasis on just what we can find naturally around this area. So for our Indigenous weeks, a lot of the time what we will prepare is wild rice and bison meatballs with a Three Sisters salsa. So we're using local corn, beans, and squash just from surrounding areas, local farms, as much as we can get them.
The Three Sisters salsa, it's got squash, corn, and beans. And when we prepared it last year, I remember we added a lot of different seasonings that were new to me, and it was super flavorful and super refreshing.
I remember we mixed everything up. We added our own seasonings to it. She let us adjust it too to our preferences, and it was just super good. Yeah.
So just having that fresh produce, you can definitely tell when it's fresh, and just all the liquid, all the flavors joining together to make something absolutely delicious for us to eat.
For thousands of years, squash has shaped agriculture, culture, and traditions in Minnesota, and continues to connect us to stories of resilience, care for the land, and community.
Squash is a super vital part of our ecosystem, right? Everything is, you and me and all the plants that are around us, and squash definitely is one of those like key players in like our agriculture and making sure we have food to eat, and is a symbol of like how giving the earth is, right? And how when we grow and tend things, we receive a lot.